Yo, what's up? Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. I'm here right now at my office's gym. Give you a quick 360 tour. But on a serious note, reason why I wanted to make this video, I was sitting there working out and it came to mind. I realized that a lot of people struggle with working out. And I feel like in the past, I've kind of thought about this before. Back in the past, if you weren't aware, I used to have a kind of business of sorts called College Conqueror. And the whole purpose of College Conqueror, if the name wasn't clear, was to help students conquer college. It was to help them improve in college and beyond in life as a whole. And one of the things that came up when I was in college, one of the things I noticed a lot of students struggled with is what was called I kind of called the S triangle. So effectively, students struggled with getting a good balance of sleep, socializing, and studying. And funny enough, once I graduated, I realized that most of the issues you have in college translate over into your adult life. They translate over into the real world in some way, shape, or form. It's quite similar if you kind of think about it. So I see a lot of people and I work out and they say to me, how do you find time to work out? How do you find time to work out and go out and have a good time and find people and network and just be able to relax? How do you get so much done in such a short period of time? And I tell them it's not that complicated if you just sit back and do the math. So this is kind of the point of this whole video. Much as there's sort of the triangle, the S triangle, sleep, socializing, and studying for college students, I have for adults what I call the pillars of the better life. And basically the pillars of the better life: health, money, and relationships. You need to have your health in point. You don't need to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you do need to be in decent shape. You do need to be healthy. If you walk up a flight of stairs and you're exhausted or tired, or if you just walk outside and you're walking for about 5 minutes and you're just out of breath, you're breathing hard, you can't focus, you can't concentrate, you're just dying from just walking a few steps, you have an issue. If you live paycheck to paycheck, if you're living above your means, and this doesn't necessarily have as much to do with how much you make as it does with how much you spend, because you can make a lot of money and still spend a lot of money. You can spend more than you make, and that happens more frequently than you might imagine. Then the third part, relationships. They say you are the average of the 5 people you are around with the most. And all 3 of those things are extremely important. But when I sit there and tell people you need to do all 3 of those things, and they kind of say, like, I don't have time, I say you do have time. And the reason why I know you have time is because we all have the exact same 24 hours in a day. Dwayne Johnson does, Jeff Bezos does, Donald Trump does, if you like Donald Trump, Joe Biden does, if you like Joe Biden. For those of you that like Andrew Tate, he's been big now. He has the same 24 hours. Everyone has the exact same 24 hours in a day. What separates them from you is that they use their 24 hours more strategically. And the way I think about it is this: you can dedicate 8 hours of your day to sleep. That leaves you at 16 hours. You can dedicate another 8 hours to work. And by doing that itself, and I don't think everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. So when I say work, I mean work your 9 to 5. That's fine. Do what you got to do. That alone could satisfy that wealth pillar, the money pillar. So now you have 8 hours to do the last 2 things: find a good circle, 4 hours if you just split it in half, and invest in your health, another 4 hours. And it stuns me because you think about it, you don't need 4 hours to go to the gym. I tell people you need 20. You need 20 minutes. Really, 20 minutes. Not even a full hour. You can go into the gym, do some high intensity interval training if you need to lose weight or if you want to gain some muscle. You can lift high volume. You don't need to do too much to achieve massive results. That's the point I always make. So realistically speaking, you don't need that 4 hours. When it comes to finding a good circle, you don't need 4 hours to network. You don't need to attend some kind of networking event. You just need to add value to other people's lives. And that alone can be done quite quickly if you think about it. You go on Instagram. Hey man, I saw you're an influencer. Let me edit one of your videos. It looks like you do podcasts. Let me edit a video. Or maybe you see a guy who's trying to make content. Hey man, let me make some content for you. None of that, let me buy you coffee nonsense. Cut that out. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying depending on the guy, depending on the girl, depending on how busy they are, it's not in their favor to go sit down and get coffee with you. So stop trying that. The point I make is that you don't need 4 hours to work out. You don't need 4 hours to socialize. You don't need 4 hours to network. You don't need 4 hours to always works, and people make a lot of money in a short period of time. So the overall point of the video is that you do have time to accomplish all three of those things daily. Right now, I'm here at the gym. Like I said, I'm tackling one of the pillars right now, the pillar of health. After this, I'm gonna do some work. It's Saturday, I'm gonna do some work. I don't need to work all day, but I'm gonna still work. Take an hour, take 2 hours, take 3 hours, as many hours as I need, satisfying the second pillar. I have a podcast interview tomorrow. I'm interviewing somebody else. I'm adding value to them because I'm making content for them that they can use for themselves to help promote themselves, to help market themselves. I'm adding value to them. And it's also work, so that's also satisfying that second pillar. I can network in other ways. I can reach out and say, hey man, let me help you with this. Or let's talk about this. Let's talk about business ideas. Let's talk about A, B, and C. I'm adding value. Networking. All you need is Instagram. All you need is social media. It doesn't take a lot of time. So, the takeaway from this video, you have time to satisfy all three pillars, to build up all three pillars of the better life. You have plenty of time to invest in your health. You have plenty of time to invest in your wealth. You have plenty of time to invest in finding more relationships. And real quick on that last one, the relationships part, because people talk about the whole, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And I think that's a fantastic quote. I think that's completely and truly applicable in life. But I feel like sometimes people don't really know the exact metrics to look for when it comes to finding that close 5 people. And I'm gonna say, I guess, 2 things. First thing, when you're around that person, do they give you energy or do they drain your energy? If you hang out with somebody, do you walk away from that whole interaction thinking, man, that was a good fucking conversation. I can't wait to meet with that guy again. We can talk more about business or whatever you want to talk about. Or do you walk away going, man, that was brutal. I'm so glad I got away from that conversation. That guy or that girl was just talking about complete garbage. That was just a terrible conversation. I hated it. Consider that, truly consider that. Next time you have an interaction with somebody, do they drain you? Do you find yourself drained when you walk away from that interaction? Or do you find yourself uplifted, energized, invigorated when you walk away from that interaction? That's the first way to determine who should be in your inner circle. Obviously, the people that make you feel better, hang around with them more. The people that don't make you feel very good, hang out with them a lot less. The second part, do they also satisfy the building of the 3 pillars of the better life? The people you hang out with, are they people that refuse to go to the gym? Are they people that refuse to stay in shape? Are they the kind of people that refuse to invest in their health? If so, that might be a sign that you should not hang out with them. Or at least don't keep them in your close inner circle. Maybe make them acquaintances, maybe keep them at arm's length. I'm not saying be mean, I'm not saying be rude. I'm not saying straight up cut them off. But what I am saying is that you need to audit your interactions with them and limit your time with them. So that's one way to figure it out. Second way, do they want more money, or do they at least have some kind of goals that involve investing financially? And I say this because I'm in another video kind of talking about this, but I'll briefly go over this. As you make more money, as you want to do more things, as you become more ambitious, you're going to find that a lot of people don't want to do the same things as you. And you're going to find that you need similar people in your life to truly be happy. And that kind of leads into that third pillar of relationships. But I once went on a trip, and the people that went with me all had time and they had money. And at the time, I had more time and I had more money. Or I should say a lot more free money to just kind of blow on stuff. Technically, I didn't. I shouldn't have done that. It was fun, but it wasn't a worthy investment in the grand scheme of life. But that's fine. It's good to spend money on fun experiences. The point I'm making is that if you don't have friends around you that have access to time and don't have access to money, then say you're the richest man in the world. Unless you want to pay for all your friends forever to do stuff with you forever, the friendship it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to want to go on a trip. You're going to have free time. You're going to want to do A, B, and C, and they can't do it unless you pay the bill, unless you take them around everywhere, unless you front the tab. Does that make sense? And by the way, when it comes to the pillar of wealth, part of it is time, because to me, time is the most valuable currency out there. That's a whole nother video, but keep that in mind. The third thing, relationships. And this relationships, I say, is not purely like sexual relationships, but to me, that's a part of it. If you're hanging out with guys, are they decent at least with girls? Will they snake you? Will they say mean things or bad things or make you look bad in front of other girls? Will they try to get between a girl that you might be interested in and yourself? Will they try to basically betray you? That's a good sign. If they do that, maybe you want to keep them at a distance, keep them at arm's length. They might not be good for you. Other part of it, are they the kind of people that want to meet other people? Are they the kind of people that just stay inside all day? Are they super introverted? They have no desire to meet with other people? Are they super rude to people that they come in contact with? These things all matter. These things all apply. The way they treat other people says a lot about their character, and their character determines if you want to be around them in the long run. So that's the surefire way to figure out who should be in your circle. Who are those 5 people that you should be around with most often? Are they also trying to build up that better lifestyle? Are they also trying to build up those 3 pillars of the better life? If so, keep them around. If not, consider putting them to the side. So, hopefully this video helped. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. I'm gonna get back to my workout because I'm not finished yet. I took a lot of time to make this video to give you value because I love you and I wanna help you. So, with that being said, leave a comment if you have any comments. Disagreements or agreements, I love to hear from them. And like the video, be sure to subscribe. And if you got any value out of this video, as I'm sure you did, share the video because that helps me a lot. That helps my channel grow and that helps me spread my message to more people. But hope you have a great Saturday. Peace out.